Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So last week on Friday, I had lost my job. I was going through it was a second time I was late on the clock. My manager surprised me at work, and it unfortunately turned into a termination. I've since come and spoke with my parents about this, and they're very supportive. But I'm concerned about how do I explain this to future employers in different interviews.
Yeah. Well, the truth shall set you free, and I think that you've got to learn from this. And I think one of the ways to learn from this is to own it and go, this is what happened. And treat it as though this were a testimony in the court that you were being recorded, because, you need to understand it's very possible that future employers are going to call this boss or check your references. And so I want to look at somebody who can say, you know what, I showed up late. It was my second time. And here's what I've learned from that. And I learned that this is a weakness. And man, did I learn my lesson, because I read biographies all the time of some of the most respected people in the world, women, men. And what I find fascinating when I read these biographies, Jade, is that they share a lot of the stuff they did wrong.
That's right.
And I don't close the book and go, well, that's it, Stacy. I'm in chapter 3 and I just found out that so-and-so did something dumb. I got to get a new biography where only the people that do great stuff. I mean, I'm sitting next to a very, very successful lady who your whole line all the time is how much debt you got into.
Mistake after mistake.
And then paid it off. So, Grant, I don't think this is anything to be cute with. I think you own it if they ask. Now, let me just say this. And I want Jay to weigh in here too. I wouldn't bring it up, but if they bring it up, you own it. And you say, I'm growing up because of this, and here's what I learned. Here's some things I'm doing in my life to make sure that never happens again. Mm-hmm. I think the only way to overcome this is to absolutely, humbly, and violently, what I mean by violent is just go, this is what I did wrong. And it woke me up, and here's what I'm doing, and I am embarrassed by it. But I'll tell you what, I'm never going to be late for a job again. And I think that's refreshing to people. Jade, what would you add to that?
I do too. Not much, other than the fact that the quicker you make peace with this and the quicker that you accept it and move on, the more confidently, to Ken's point, that you'll be able to talk about it. And it won't feel so much like a negative as a lesson learned and a piece of wisdom that you gained from it. So
what do you think about that? Is there something else we need to know, or is this just straight up, this happened twice, your boss didn't like it, and it was done?
It was the way the job worked. It was hourly, and I clocked in on company time, and it was just a matter of time theft. I fully admit and totally own up to everything. Would I lead off in these interviews with if they ever mention it, I got laid off, or should I just, like you said, fully and violently take on the responsibility of what I did?
Well, you do that, but the point is when you show up for the job interview, you don't go, hey, I'm here at this job interview because I was late twice and got fired. We don't need to lead off with stupid.
Right.
But we're not gonna hide from stupid. So I wouldn't bring it up until it's brought up. Hey, why are you here? Why'd you leave your last job? You go, well, unfortunately, I made a real bad mistake, and I was irresponsible and I was immature, and here's what I did. I think that freaks some people out, that you didn't make any excuse at all.
Just so rare in the world.
Yeah, I think it makes you look really great, Grant. So own it, be okay with it, and I'm really proud of you just for making this phone call. I really am.
I called on Friday when it happened, and I felt like I had nobody to go to, and I had seen the Ramsey Show clips on TikTok, and I was like, man, I could use a guy like that right now, because I didn't think my parents or the people that I love in my life would respond well to this, but
they did.
First people I talked to, no, they did. Yeah. First people I talked to were them. I was most afraid to tell them, and it turned out they were the best people to reach out to.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, listen, brother, I struggle with being late to this day. It's one of my biggest weaknesses. I get highly distracted, and so to this day, I have to come up with systems and things, and I still struggle with it. I get so easily distracted. So, owning these kind of things is the best way to get through them. Really proud of you.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.